Well, as we heard in our top story, the world community is planning to spend a great deal of money to socially reintegrate militants in Afghanistan. But critics say violent factions already benefit through local security firms who provide transportation for coalition forces. It's claimed that the money paid is effectively a bribe and that ultimately it ends up in the hands of the Taliban. RT's Paula Sleer reports.
Travelling by road in Afghanistan today is possibly more dangerous than it ever was when the Taliban was in power. If a roadside bomb doesn't kill you, there's the constant threat that a criminal gang could.
It's a given that there are roads that are unsafe in this country, without a doubt. We try to secure as best we can, but anyone can, launch a small attack at anywhere, in this country.
Each month, international forces face the problem of how to transport millions of litres of fuel across Afghanistan. Almost every one of their convoys has been attacked. In some cases, drivers taken hostage and ransoms sought. There are parts of this country which are impassable, which poses not only a military threat, but a real logistical nightmare. So the foreigners have decided to use local private security companies. But the partnership is an uneasy one that very often leads to even more instability.
Once you pay someone, to provide a service for you, what they ultimately end up doing, with their money, we can't always police, especially in a nation with so many remote pockets.
Critics say the cash paid to security agencies actually lines the pockets of the Taliban.
I don't want to name specific security companies, but these companies are paying everybody. They pay the government for their license, they pay insurgents and enemies of Afghanistan. It encourages insurgents to keep going so they can get more money from convoys. President Karzai has complained about this, but he's under pressure from foreign countries to keep the situation going.
Some of the so-called Taliban, that we're calling Taliban, they're also involved in this business of security. They basically, everybody knows who to go to pay them off so they can provide security for a specific convoy, specific region.
But Hilal Wardok disputes the claims. He transports 125 million litres of fuel each month across southern Afghanistan for NATO. He says it's good business sense for the foreign armies to use his services because then they don't need to risk their soldiers' lives to transport fuel. And his men know the roads, the landscape and the locals much better than the Americans ever will.
A true Taliban or Al-Qaeda or an insurgent will never negotiate with you. He doesn't need your money. He'd rather see the tanker burn and show it on TV and somebody captured and show it on TV as opposed to taking a couple of bucks from you and letting you go through.
The Afghan finance minister estimates that as much as $10 million of donor money is being smuggled out of the country every day, a sign, many say, of collusion. If this is indeed true, that the very resources brought in to fight the Taliban are in fact fueling it, then any prospect for peace and breaking the cycle remains dismally distant. Paula Sleer, RT, Southern Afghanistan.